check whether I'm live yet. So let me check. Hello. Hello everybody. Hello, that's good. I want to hear my hello. Yeah, good. So yeah, let's get started. Hello everybody. So today we are starting a journey that every Chinese kid grows up with. It's a journey to the West. In Chinese, it's called 西游记. It's a magical. It's a funny. It's a dramatic, and packed with kind of language that built the real foundation of Chinese. And there are countless adaptations based on this theme. And so, for example, the Black Miss Wukong and lots of anime actually based on the adaptation of a journey to the West. So yeah, I think it's a good place to start learning and explore the great real foundation of Chinese. And if you want to learn Chinese the way that the native speakers feel it, this is one of the best doors that you can walk through. Okay? Well, you might have some doubt about this, because you might be thinking, isn't this book full of the old language, the old classic, the old really old language? Why start here? Here's why. The journey to the West, the 西游记, is the perfect bridge between the classic flavor and as well as modern Chinese. And its sentences are relatively short, and it's not so serious, like really serious kind of book, but rather it's a short but vivid and full of action kind of book. And so that's relatively easy for you to break it down. And of course, I'm going to go through this line by line. So I'm going to translate or bring just to break it down to the modern Chinese for you. So basically, I want you both to get a taste of what it feels like to read the original text, the traditional, the classic version. And also, you want to get this real, modern everyday usage for you. So basically, you get both the story and the real usable grammar that you can apply immediately when you try to use Chinese. Okay? This is the first thing. So this is a bridge between the classic Chinese flavor and the modern Chinese. The second thing is that this book has tons of vocabulary, and the vocabulary is really rich, and you can increase the characters, the expressions that you learn in Chinese. The vocabulary is rich, but it's not random. Come on, it's a novel. It's a long-term novel, and you will keep seeing words and pairs. And of course, as I'm translating this to the modern Chinese, you're going to see a lot of the words and expressions that reappear in the, say, for example, you want to take the HSK exam, the HSK level. The actions, the emotions, numbers, natures, movements, great storytelling would appear in a lot. Okay? And what's amazing about this is it's a novel. It's a long-term, really long novel that can keep you interested. Okay? I have known a lot of students just to learn this by memorizing flashcards and just cram everything into your brain. I think, on the contrary, the best way and most efficient way to learn a certain language is through immersion. And you can say, well, I would just watch tons of TV, right? That's obviously a very natural way of doing this, but not necessarily the most efficient way of doing it, because if you're just reading, okay, that's more efficient absorption rather than just listen and look at the image and then listen to a few conversational words. This is like a more passage words, conversations, grammar altogether. Okay, so, and of course it's a little bit more interesting than just the memorizing flashcards. So I think that's you're learning through like a narrative rather than just purely some like some TV program. Okay, and what is more, this is what Chinese call the 4大名著, right? That means this is in English like four of the. You know what? This is like the thing that shapes the Chinese culture for centuries. Okay? Okay, I think my head just got stuck somehow. Sorry about that. I'm going to do that again by okay. Come on, am I like in the middle of some? Doesn't really matter. Let me quickly get this. Come on. Yeah, sorry about that. My camera just get like, because it's like a 2-camera solution. Like my camera is just getting like overheats or something like that. It's yeah. Let me reboot this camera again. Oh, I'm live. I'm back again. So basically, it's something that shaped the Chinese culture, and because it's called 4大名著, so it's like a sort of a master rate for every like Chinese and descendant of Chinese, that when they grow up, they are going to read this, albeit not in a academic way. They may just like access this through pop culture, but it's deeply ingrained into the common knowledge of all the people speaking Chinese. Okay, so basically you're going to learn through that, which I think is a great opportunity to gain access of the deep fundamental roots of every person who speaks Chinese. So I think that's the second thing that I think you can learn vocabulary, the modern usage, prepare for HSK, but also you give a cultural side of learning. And of course, there's a third thing. The third thing is the cultural weight. I briefly mentioned in the second things that you learn vocabulary. You sort of you get a glimpse of the narrative that shaped every Chinese Chinese culture. But third, I want to specifically talk about the culture side of this story. As I said, it's 4大名著. That means it's like sort of the ranking the top 4 most famous book in Chinese ranking. So the cultural weight is massive. You talk about 西游记 to any Chinese. You talk about the characters in 西游记, like the 孙悟空, right? 孙悟空 and 猪八戒 is like English translation is like a pixie, right? and 山和尚, right? That's the monk. That's the monk. And these are just the characters, right? This is like deeply ingrained into every Chinese brains. Okay, there are symbols. You see this. You say this person is like a little bit lazy. You say this person is like 猪八戒, right? It's like you see this person like 嫉恶如仇. It's like a superhero that hates the crime and like try to make everything just. You say that's like 孙悟空一样的人物, right? And it's deeply ingrained into everyday, say, jokes, advertisements, games, animes, as I said, movies and all that. If you understand this journey to the West, you instantly understand like a really big part of what every Chinese grow up with. So I think it's sort of have a deep cultural meaning to it. You will understand a lot of culture and a lot of implied meaning. Okay, implied meaning through all this story behind it. I think that's a very, very good way to understand the Chinese mentality through this. Not just learning this, but also through, observe yourself into the back. It's like a backstory of every Chinese. And the fourth thing is that I want to mimic how you learn as a native. I know that a lot of you learn like learn language as a second language, like not your mother tongue, like a foreign language. That's basically a lot of people read, and they never got a chance to read the classic thing, read sort of mirror how the native learn, right? So for example, Chinese kids, they learn they read simplified or annotated version of classical stories, okay? And they read it with the modern explanations, just like what I'm about to show you. And of course, they also get explanation of all the grammatical points in a very simplified way. So explain the grammar. And of course, I want to also add a little bit of cultural notes. That's basically, when the Chinese kids go to school, they learn from the teacher, right? That's how the native kids build literacy. And I will also want to say, well, since like nobody's doing this, I want to give you this same advantage by, learn as if you were just native, and you just mirror how native kids learn. So that's the fourth thing that I think why learn through this makes sense. So during all these videos, I will give you a modern Chinese translation of the journey to the West. And I'm also going to give you the grammar explanations that tie to the real lines in the story, as well as the modern translation. So you can go deep into the root of Chinese. And of course, for new words, for difficult words, I'm also going to give you the HSK vocabulary breakdown. So HSK is hard and it's boring. If you just prepare this through that, it's a kind of boring. But through novel, through the classic and interesting novel, it can be interesting, can be absorbing, it can even be addictive, hopefully. And also, I want you to sort of explain things as I go through this, give you the cultural notes so you understand the deeper meaning that behind, and also learn from like as if you're a native learner. And everything is done step by step. So, and you can rest assured, this is like one of my long-term dream projects. When is it have it ever happened to you that when at a specific moment in your life you realize that life is limited, you want to leave something behind, okay? You want to do something good for this world. You want to leave something that you're proud of behind. And you can rest assured this is like a long-term project that I try to do, and I try to leave something behind. So welcome to this Learn Chinese through the journey to the West. Hi, hello, Caramel Jin. Hello, welcome. Yeah, I am Chinese. I'm Chinese. I'm this is the side project of me. I teach Chinese and Japanese, and in my spare time, and I'm work as a programmer, and also I'm working in a lot of fields. I'm previous working in the investment banking, and then I start up a multiple tech startup, I go the world of coding, and then right now I'm still coding, writing games and VR games and iOS apps, and I started like 2 side projects for teaching, because I learned Japanese at a very young age, and if you teach how to say bad stuff, so I'm like more like an old school folk that this is like classic stuff, but I also want to add a little bit like modern flair. So basically I recently try to build like majorly 2 language projects. One is Learn Japanese, the other is Learn Chinese. So by the way, if you Google search Japanese Bootcamp, right? You Google it, the first the Udemy result is me, and I'm trying to also build a Chinese bootcamp that get the first ranking. So basically it's just I work as a programmer, so everything's like built in public. So basically this is like a new experimental project that I try to build public, since this is like a Shakespeare. So Journey to the West is like a Shakespeare, but in Chinese. Okay, it's Chinese people's Shakespeare. And when I browse through the internet, and I find that nobody's like working on sort of translating this, because it's like a classic Chinese, so a little bit hard to understand. So it's like I go through this Gutenberg projects. So as you can see, is that it's really like old Chinese text. Okay, it's like really hard to read, and so basically it's a really hard even for Chinese to read. So it's like Shakespeare's for English people. So it's like or even harder, like old textbook. So I try to sort of translate this into modern Chinese while teaching people about the story behind it. Even Chinese can't read, how will I learn? Yeah, so basically it's something like this. So we are going to utilize the help of AI. So basically the first step will be to translate this into modern Chinese. And if you translate into modern Chinese, it's a realm of us, because we can understand modern Chinese, and this is like really hard to understand modern Chinese. And then through the modern Chinese, we're going to because I work as a programmer, so I wrote a program to sort of decompose the modern Chinese into the HSK words and expressions, grammars, and then I'm going to like this is like a live project, so I'm going to then output that into the PPTX, like a PowerPoint, and then I'm going to write the PowerPoint here, because I try to string for the HSK, pure HSK thing, okay, and a lot of people like it because they are going to prepare for the HSK examination. Also, I got like a Japanese like a JLPT exam, so it's like a Japanese language proficiency. Yeah, it's like pure exam preparation kind of string. It's a kind of boring, okay, and it kind of do not make any sense. Do not have any cohesive meaning to it. It's just, oh, a certain scenario you say this, a certain scenario you say that. So it's kind of boring, even though a lot of people really like it. So I try to add some flavor to it. So the thing come to my mind is that I can like do two projects at the same time. This is like pure for textbooks version of exam explanations. The second is that I try to first, there's like also two ways of doing things. First is through the classic novel. That's this is like big project that I want to start, that I'm going to translate, explain, and also teach at the same time. The second is that there is a interactive project I'm experimenting this morning. So basically, it's called Twine. This software is an open source software that can you can use it to write interactive stories. Okay, and I want to like write an interactive novel, but it's like built with while streaming. So basically, whatever like chat message comes, and I think it's a good idea, and I'm going to add it inside so we can choose different like branch of the story. And so starting from you were born, right, into this world, as if you were born as a baby, right? So your first word you hear and all that. And I'm trying to build a system that when you learn a word, I'm going to input that into my system. So that will be the vocabulary. So basically, it's like a game that I'm building. So you learn a word, and I explain the word, and then they will like enter into the database. Okay, me explaining that, and that word and enter into database, and then I'm going to show that database. Okay, hopefully like online, so people on stream can access that database, and then they can like click that and just write the story together. So it's like an interactive thing that I'm trying to build. So this is like a second route that I'm trying to experiment. But this is but that thing is more about the interaction while streaming. So but that thing may not be able to last, as I quickly mentioned previously, that I'm like half retired now. So I try to make something that sticks, right? And I think this is like the journey to the West. This literature is still it's not going anywhere, right? It's just like a Shakespeare. So I think that since nobody's like doing this, I'm going to like using my spare time, like doing the side project to translate the traditional classic Chinese to simplify Chinese and teaching Chinese in the meantime, and maybe translate into say Japanese and English, something like that. Because I'm previously also worked as a translator, so I got tons of career. So yeah, so I think maybe just to leave something behind, something like that. Yeah. So caramel corning. So what's that name? I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Japanese? I can karame konigi caramel. Oh, caramel. Oh, German. Okay. I tried to learn German, but yeah, it turned out Yeah, I think learn language at a very young age is kind of a advantage. I learned Japanese at a very young age, so it's a stick. And I tried to learn Spanish, yeah, I never managed to. Yeah, oh, you tried to learn German. Oh, I think German is so hard. I tried to learn Spanish, and it never. Yeah, is just at the Duolingo level. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So let's. Okay. I'm going to continue to record this. So I'm trying to use the ChatGPT to go through this and see, because I need to check, because it's a pretty hard, like, traditional text. So I want to see whether it can get things done. So let me just get this. Right, and let's go. Let's go. Where is it? Where is it? Alright. Oh, it's a here. I think I bring it here. So it's like a Gutenberg. Where's Gutenberg? Oh, here. Alright, so let's add it here and explain it. Yeah, I think it's here. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is like traditional Chinese. Okay, I have to first get how to pronounce it. So I need to add pinyin to it, and then okay, let me just get right Chinese explanations. Mode writing changed. So I think I'm going to add a new project, writing Chinese. Writing Chinese. Type it. I'm going to add instruction. I will give you a classic traditional Chinese. You first add to it, then explain the classic old Chinese, then translate to modern Chinese. The modern Chinese grammar keywords. What this is. Okay, let's try this. 第一回零根顺序. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I got it correct. So I will use the help of AI, see whether. 尽兴羞耻，大道是。Alright, okay, I think I got this. Let's continue. I think, oh my gosh, so I think this is not a good format. Let me just use this format. Okay, make it here. Okay, let me just get 第一回。Okay, can I just get the annotation automatically, and I'm going to check it. So basically, I just human check it. And why can't I just copy and paste it here? Weird. Let me see. What about I do this? Well, that's not a good plan, because I have to add annotation, but in a format that can be accepted. So if I do this, it's basically like 2 lines. If I do this, oh my gosh, it seems to have to be rendered in the HTML format. How to solve that problem? Okay, this become a technical issue. How to keep the HTML formats unchanged while copy and paste that from website to say PowerPoint. If I copy and paste into the PowerPoint title, it sort of lose the HTML formats. Okay, how to keep the HTML formats when I try to copy some formatted text from website to say PowerPoint. Keep source HTML, paste special. Right, let's try this. So basically I copy and paste special, paste text earning, source formatting, destination theme. I use source formatting, but it seems that I can't do that. So what about I do not restrict it into here, but rather I just give you empty slide. Paste this, keep formatting. Yeah, we can't do that. Well, that's hard, huh? That's hard. Okay, let me using AI. Let me use AI to do that. So can I use reformat this into a text? Okay, reformat this. I get the return like this. Can you reformat it, or is there any tools to make it pastable in PowerPoint? Ruby style and copy from Word. Okay, it seems that if I use Word, that's good. So blank documents, yeah, it doesn't work. Ruby style plain text. Add font guide. Paste option, keeping format, merge format. Add font guide. Where is it? Like add font guide. Insert. Oh, that's not like what I want. Add font guide. Font guide. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not gonna work. Okay, bad. Manually converts website. Why can't I just? Is there any software that I can copy a certain thing from website and it will keep the format like the rendered formats? Because HTML again like CSS, so it may not like keep the format information from the website, so that's definitely not going to work. The browser put multiple format in a clipboard, right? Rich text. Need not standard format maintained. Support CSS, so complex to flow for Word as intermediary browser extension. Copy format HTML, so it makes that. There's a pure paste. Remove formatting, export website in another format. Copy section from website. Keep source formatting. That doesn't work, right? That does not work. We can copy, print, yeah, copy. Word, they kind of support the formats, but not to this extent. Merge formatting, keep source formatting. Not going to work. Keep text. Yeah, that's the logic problem that I need to solve. I think I have to do this hard way. I can't do this the hard way. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, let me just do this hard way. Let me just get rid of all this and insert a blank slide. So that's the hard way. And then I'm going to get a to pin that here. Like an Windows Shift and S. Windows Shift and S. Is it Alt and N or something? Control and N, right? On Control and N. Control and N. Control and And my gosh, it's just new. So it's like doesn't really matter. I always have another way. Yeah, good. Good. That's good, huh? That's good. 第一回。Right, let's continue. Alright, so let's continue. 第一回 right? 第一回灵根孕育源流出，心性修持大道生。Alright, this is like a really hard and really it's like stating the stage sort of a thing, right? And so first is like a 对仗工整. It's a thing that, you know, in Chinese, especially the traditional Chinese is like a right point, something like that. This and this is kind of 对仗工整. That means, for example, this word and this word sort of match together. Okay? And 灵根和心性 right? 孕育和修持 right? 灵根和心性 is like you know, just a noun, right? 孕育 and 修持 this is like a verb, right? Noun. So 源流出大道生 right? This is like a result. So yes, it's like everything matching together. This is like a really that means that's a very good literature. Okay? So 灵根 okay. 灵妙的根本 OK 灵妙的根本在孕育出生法。那心性修持，人的心性。You got a lot of omission here, right? It's like 什么的灵根，是不是啊 ？What 灵根 ，right? 心性，什么的心性呢？心性一般是讲人的心性，是吧？心性修持，大道生，人的心性开始修炼，大道因此而生成。So basically, that's a really abstract thing, okay? Even sort of philosophical about this, okay? For example, the 灵根大道等等. This is like kind of like a Taoism, the view of the world, 世界观. So basically, it's like 天地。灵根啊等等源流出体 It's like when talk about heaven and talk about earth. And then 心性修持 心性 is like the person's mind. 修持大道生 I think it's like 修持之后 it's like you go through all this trial and then you become the Buddha. Okay, that's really hard sentence. So the explanations, let me add it here. Okay, can I just make it bigger? I can't make it bigger. I can only switch. Okay. What about I add this pin first, and then I'm going to explain it. Okay, let me just add this version here. Okay, so 第一回灵根孕育源流出，心性修持大道生。This is like traditional Chinese, okay, classic version, but it's so hard to understand. So I give you a modern version, okay? So 灵根，说起来有点玄乎啊 ，it's like too mystical about it。灵根孕育，现在汉语是宇宙的根源 ，right？ 宇宙 is like a universe, right? The cosmos. 宇宙的根源 that's like English cosmos 根源 right? So cosmos or universe. Let me use cosmos just to make it like a really mystic about it, alright? Cosmos. 根源根 is like the tree's root, right? 根源 also means like the flow of water, right? Look at this 三点水 right? Flow of water 的源头 right? It's like a stream, right? And we got like a source of that. So 根源 So both of it have inferred meanings like the source, okay? Like origin, the root, the cause. 宇宙的根源灵根 right? It's like some spiritual. If you're using the classic Chinese, so like a spiritual root. 宇宙的根源孕育源流出正在酝酿正在 that means that like it's doing something, right? 宇宙的根源正在酝酿酝酿 it's like a ferment. It's like alcohol. It's like you got like a put it in a barrel and you try to ferment it. You add a little bit of sauce and into this barrel. 酝酿 ferments. But we can also use the inferred meaning is that something is brewing, right? I still remember like programming there is like a brewing store, like you're brewing something. So yeah, I got like inferred meaning brewing, right? Like moreover. So the cosmos root is like a brewing right now. 宇宙的根源正在酝酿万物。If you look at here, 源流出 right? 万物从这里展开 okay? 万物从这里展开 is like all things 万物。Basically 物是 like 物体嘛，人物、事物、动物。Right? All that is means that things, right? 万物 one is like in Chinese 个十百千万 okay? So basically in English that's 10,000 okay? But that's a very big number, so we use one to say this is a very big number and that's everything, okay? So 万物 万物 means like everything, all things, all that exist. 从这里展开 I think 从这里展开 is more like 从这里开始啊，所有的事情从这里开始。展开 is like when you get a book, you open that book. 展开 right? 万物从这里展开。But you know you got like a more inferred meaning. It's like unfolds, all these things suddenly unfold here. 宇宙的根源正在酝酿，万物从这里展开。心性修持大道生。This is also a very interesting one. 心性修持大道生，心性。而当心性开始修炼时，真正的大道才在生命中诞生。而转折 right? It's like but 当心性开始修炼时first 当心性这个断句稍微有点问题啊，以我的为准It's like when 心性 is like when you sort of train yourself and there's like an integral part of you that you need to train, like your heart, like 你的内心，你的性格 right? 心性 so basically it's like the it's more about the constitution of a person. When the person like train the constitution 开始 means begin 修炼is like well 修炼 to be honest it's kind of you know when you say you want 修炼 that's that you want to become the god, okay? And it's a common practice. It's not a common practice, but rather it's a common thing for how to say that? How for the 道家 to say, okay? 道家道家的人is sort of a thinking that by training ourselves, right? You can become a better version of yourself, become a better person, and then finally become the god, right? So basically, from the normal person become the god by training. Okay, this is a very interesting cultural side of things. So basically it's like a practicing the austerities, okay? And by training the austerity without, it's like, you know, you don't get confused by the everyday scenario. So what you see is in fact just the outer side of everything, not the integral part of things. And then they begin to see through this world and become transcend into the godness. Okay, so that's basically what the Taoism are thinking. Okay, so 修炼是修炼成仙 right? By the way, if you look at a lot of novel nowadays, it's like 修仙 novel, right? It's like 修炼最终成为仙 is like the like the godness, become god. 修仙 is like you try to train yourself to exercise the austerities, and then become god. And when you actually begin to train, 心性修持，大道生，真正的大道 like 真正的是 like true 真正的大道 that means the true 大道大道 if you look at that it's like a boulevard like like a main street avenue something like that, but this has got like a more meaning. 道 is like 道教里面的道啊，道可道非常道 is like the rule of everything. So 道大道 it's like you know it's like a physics, right? You try to using some formula that sort of say, hey, everything under the heaven is followed by this physical like formula, like for certain equation that explain. Remember in Chinese there is like a 道理. So 大道 is like 大道理, right? It's like one of the reason for this word. So it's like 道家的那种思想啊，真正的大道才在生命中诞生。It's like you understand that 真正的大道才在生命中，生下来 born, right? 命 is like your life. 生命 just general refer to life. 生命中诞生。It's kind of redundant, but think about it, it actually makes sense. 真正的大道诞生，真正的大道才在生命中诞生，真正的大道诞生在你的生命中 ，right? So 诞生 is like being born, okay? 诞生 to be born. 生 is like 生日快乐 ，right? Happy birthday 生，日 is like that day. 生日 is like you being born, you being 生出来的那个日子 ，right? 生出来的日子。诞生，it's just 比较文雅的一种说法哦。诞生，比如说什么什么诞辰多少多少周年 ，right? So yeah, 诞辰，let me quickly check. I think 诞辰好像不是这个诞啊。诞辰 ，yes, it is this, okay? I remember that correctly. 诞辰。So basically, that 辰 is like 时辰 is like a specific time. 日 is like the day. So 诞辰 is like when you born at that specific time. Like what kind of clock? Okay, 辰。生日 is like you're being born at that day, right? So 诞生. So basically, 诞生 both means that being born, and so combined together, 诞生. Okay, quick review. 第一回，灵根孕育源流出，心性修持大道生。宇宙的根源正在酝酿，万物从这里展开。而当心性开始修炼时，真正的大道才在生命中诞生。Oh my gosh, it's like a really broad language. Yeah, it's very good for telling a like a magical story. Oh my gosh, I think this is like really hard. This is really hard. If I go on this rate, I might need like 10 years to finish this. Okay, hopefully it will get quicker because I think I already get the gist of this. Good. I think I got a gist of this. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think that's all. I do a little bit experiment today. I try to do this as well as HSK together. So every time I go to string for the HSK level, I'm going to add a tiny little bit of the extra curriculum reading. So you guys can get enjoy both. Okay. Thanks. Bye.